Coming up on UT10 News, we look into the dangers of a popular dating app.
And we also have an update on this year's Engineering Expo.
And I got the inside look at the annual Rain Day event.
Plus, our own Lydia Sims has highlights on the women's soccer team's game against Northern Illinois. Your news in 10 minutes starts now. Thanks for joining us. I'm Chris Dyer.
And I'm David Duffey. The city of Toledo now has another way for residents to track emergencies in their area.
That's right, David. Reporter Nadine Armouche has the story on the system started by the City of Toledo councilman.
In May, cell phone services in some parts of the U.S. have made it possible to text 911 to police dispatchers. Lucas County has not been able to text 911 at all, and the issues that are involved with that will not be solved for another year. Even though the City of Toledo is not able to text 911, City Councilman Tom Winooski invented the site iCitizen in order for residents of Toledo to receive a text when there's a crime. Winooski says that the reason why he invented iCitizen was because neighbors didn't feel like they knew what was happening in their area.
They heard of a rape, they heard of a burglary, but they really didn't know. So they come to these block watch meetings once a month, once every 3 months, and a police officer says, yes, in July, we had one break-in. In August, we had 2 break-ins. Well, they wanted something more immediate.
Residents of Toledo can register up to 3 Toledo addresses through the site. These texts don't go directly to police dispatchers, but go to anyone who is signed up that lives half a square mile away from the situation.
It's merely an information source for the resident, and if they can provide some extra information by seeing something around them, fantastic.
5,000 people are currently subscribed to iCitizen.org. Tom Winooski is working with UTPD in order to launch this site for students on campus. Students will soon be able to receive emergency texts through their phone and email. I'm Nadine Armouche for UT10 News.
Tinder has become one of the top hookup apps for students according to spyparent.net. Reporter Guyton Mathews looks into the dangers this app can cause for UT students.
Tinder has become a popular way for students to find romance, matching over 10 million users per day. The app takes info from Facebook and syncs it to your device. When using Tinder, users can find out information about people such as mutual friends and how far away they are. Chief of Police Jeff Newton talks to me about what students should do before downloading the app.
Do your research before you install that app and know the strengths and weaknesses and determine in advance like what you're going to do to kind of keep yourself safer.
Although some people use the app to find love, others are cautious about meeting up.
If you want to be that type of person to go out and meet your matches, you already know what might happen, so people can take the risk. I don't know, I wouldn't want to take the risk.
Other apps being used for dating include OkCupid, Match.com, and eHarmony. I'm Guyton Mathews for UT10 News.
Thanks, Guyton. UT organizations and residence halls decorated umbrellas for a cause on campus. Reporter Faith Atkins got an inside look at this national event.
Rain Day, which stands for Rape, Abuse, Incest National Network, is an annual event that took place at universities nationwide last Thursday. Several UT student organizations, the YWCA, the University Council Center, and the Sexual Assault Education and Prevention Program participated in the event in hopes to raise awareness and to educate students about sexual assault. Not only were students being educated, those in the Toledo community who have been victimized were given a way to express themselves. Sexual Assault Prevention Coordinator Angela DeVault explains how survivors impacted the event.
The Clothesline Project actually is an opportunity for those survivors to create t-shirts to speak about their story or to bring awareness to what they've gone through. All of the shirts that we have displayed here at the university are shirts from UT students in the UT community.
In addition to raising awareness, the umbrellas created by the UT organizations have been entered in a contest in hopes of winning funds for their own organization. I'm Faith Atkins for UT10 News.
This past Wednesday, UT engineering students had a chance to look into their future. The Fall 2014 Engineering Career Expo was held in Nitschke Hall. The expo networks over 140 companies with students and is engineering's biggest co-op event. The expo allowed students to talk with the potential employers about internships and future jobs. Director of the Engineering Career Development Center, Dr. Vickie Kuntz, said there was a unique twist at this year's expo.
And one of the really neat things is to see our former engineering students coming back to recruit.
More than 600 students attended this year's expo. The Latino Student Union is celebrating Hispanic Heritage with a month full of events. Hispanic Heritage Month highlights the history and culture of ancestors who came from Latin American countries. This past week's events on campus were Spanish tutorial in Cocina Latina. These events shared Hispanic culture with students by giving them a small lesson of the language and demonstrating how to prepare Spanish dishes. Latino Student Union President Patricia Marquez says these events help students find a common ground.
By getting this culture out there and having other people know about what's going on, it just brings like the university united as one.
The events continue tonight with a dance tutorial in the Student Union Ingman Room and throughout October 15th.
I'm Lydia Sims, and this is your UT 10 Sports. It was another active weekend for the Rockets. The football team took on Chippewas of Central Michigan, and the women's soccer faced NIU Huskies. But first, the UT's women's swimming team began their season by competing against each other in the blue versus gold scrimmage. This past weekend, eager fans filled the rec as two squads faced off in both swimming and diving events. The star of the day, junior Lauren Comer, took first place both in 200 and 500 meter freestyle, and as well as the 400 meter individual medley. Head coach Chris Peters says with such a young team, the meet was about getting the ladies prepared.
So for us, we wanted the scoreboard on, we wanted the touch pads on. Half our team's brand new, so we wanted them to have that meet feel. So I would just say the biggest thing is it becomes more relevant.
The Rockets hit the road for Bowling Green this Friday for the Tom Stumps Relays. At Scott Park on Sunday, the UT women's soccer team took on Northern Illinois in a MAC West battle. With the Huskies playing tough defense, Toledo was held scoreless in the first half, but as the second half began, things started to heat up for the Rockets. After a pair of corners just off mark, senior Alexis Tice scored the Rockets' first goal on a nice header in the 52nd minute. The excitement was short-lived when the Huskies' Haley Cummings scored the equalizer in the 75th. Both teams managed a shot on goal in the first overtime, but nobody would capitalize. In the second overtime, Toledo would fall after Allie McBride nailed a penalty kick past keeper Sam Thompson. Head coach Brad Evans noted that the missed opportunity cost the Rockets.
We had lots of opportunities with balls wide to get good crosses in, and we missed probably 5 of those, went out of bounds. Anything comes in corner, you never know. So it's just making the best out of your opportunities, and we keep trying to teach it, and eventually it either happen or it won't.
With Miami next on the schedule, the Rockets will travel to Oxford, Ohio to take on the Redhawks. Toledo started Damian Jonesmore Saturday at running back, who had big shoes to fill, replacing injured Kareem Hunt. Jonesmore and the offense did not disappoint, gaining over 543 yards. Junior receiver Alonzo Russell accounted for a season-high 120 yards and 2 touchdowns, including the sweet one-handed catch in the first half. Then in the second half, Terry Swanson contributed to the Rockets' lead, showing that Jonesmore isn't the only one who can fill in for Hunt at running back. But Darian contributed plenty in this game as well. Here the sophomore punches right up the middle to secure the Rockets' victory. Toledo comes out on top, defeating Central Michigan 42-28. This weekend, Toledo heads to Kalamazoo to take on PJ Flex and the Western Michigan Broncos. Coach Matt Campbell has praised the job Flex has done in his short time at WMU.
The biggest thing I'll say about PJ, I think he's got a vision for what he wants his football program to look like. I think he's recruited extremely hard to that vision, and I think that's what you got to do when you're building a program.
Thanks, Lydia. That's all for UT 10 News. For the latest breaking news from campus and the bios from all UT 10 reporters, go to our website, ut10news.com.
And you can always watch our award-winning newscasts on YouTube and Facebook, where you can get caught up on all the campus news whenever you want. For David Duffey, Lydia Sims, and all of our crew, I'm Chris Dyer. Have a great week and stay tuned for more news from UT 10.